Okay, so good morning, and welcome to Masterful Mornings. Today, we're going to talk about what it takes to be a good leader. What it takes to be a good leader. Good morning, Helen. And there's two types of followers, I think, levels of people who follow the leaders. One, people who don't have the confidence to lead themselves. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody's, set up to be a leader, but you can be. And the other one is people who allow others to sabotage them and disempower them. Good morning, Melissa. And I want to talk about that today. Good morning, Amanda. So I want to talk about that today. Yesterday, I didn't come on, and I didn't come on because the previous evening, a few situations happened. I woke up in the morning and I wasn't feeling on my game. Something was kind of in the air and I couldn't put my finger on it because nothing was happening that would make me feel so off. But I was feeling very off, so I decided not to come on. And yesterday, no matter how many things happened that were good, because I always try to look at the good things, even when obstacles happen, I try to reframe it and say, okay, why did this show up? What is good about this? And sometimes I don't have the answer right away. But no matter what I tried to do yesterday, no matter what I was working on, things went sideways. And I was just like, what is this? So part of being a leader, I feel part of being a leader is to be able to recognize those things, to be able to look at it in an empowering way, and also to be able to share that experience with others. So leaders are not always people who hold public office. Leaders could also be the person who, there's always the alpha in the house. It could be the woman, it could be the man, somebody in the partnership or whatever. There's usually someone in the house who's making the decisions. So that is also, one of our leaders, but also a team member. Being a leader does not mean you're a boss. It doesn't mean that you are a control freak. It doesn't mean any of that. It means that you're taking your team or the people that you're working with or the people that you're speaking to, and you're just giving some guidance and facilitation and allowing people to make choices for themselves. That is how you want to lead. You don't want to lead by telling everybody what to do. And this sort of became very evident yesterday. And I'm going to talk about an experience that happened. I had a consultation with someone yesterday, so I'm not going to, of course, mention any names, but I had a consultation with someone yesterday, and she really, really wanted to work with me. In fact, she really, really needed the help. She was committed and all in. She wanted to do the work. So we had our consultation. She signed up for the registration. She registered for the program. And then later in the evening called me because the alpha in the house or the leader in the house or the person that's, leads her team said, no, you can't do this. You can't get better. You can't invest in yourself. And instead of standing up and saying, yes, I will, because this is my life too, I refunded her the money, of course. I'm not looking to start arguments in people's homes. So, but it sat weird with me. Like I did it and I sat down with this yesterday and I'm like, is this part of why I'm feeling bad today? Like, because I do tend to sense things. I am an empath. I do tend to sense things before they happen. And I was sitting there saying, why? Why would someone not allow someone else to be better? Why would someone suppress someone else? What kind of a leader is that? What kind of love is that? Good morning, Tina. And I got a little emotional about it. I was sad. It made me sad. And I thought, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to communicate from this? Why did this happen? And for me, there's a reason why it happened for her, something that she needs to take a look at. But why did that happen for me? Why was I part of this? And my belief is that I was part of this because other reasons might show up for me. But what I think is here is that it was a big moment where I said, you know what? There's some of us who want to take that step. There's some of us who want to get better. There's some of us who want to heal and walk down our journey and walk down our path and walk down our purpose. But we are covered in so much fear that we allow others to decide for us. And that is not okay. That is not love. And I say this in a way that, as I said, I'm not trying to start any kind of a confrontation in someone's home. I'm not asking you to go rip a side off someone because they didn't let you do something. I'm saying you need to take responsibility for your own life. You need to be responsible for your own life. And if somebody doesn't let you do something that you know in your heart of hearts, that you can feel it in your bones, that you need to do this. And if someone is stopping you, you need to make a choice. You need to make a decision in your world. This is those moments where you have to make a choice. You can't allow someone else's fear or someone else's bad behavior to dictate your life. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Hector. We're given a lot of titles in this world: mom, dad, CEO, daughter, son. Good morning, Lisa. And sometimes we let those titles go to our heads. Sometimes we let those titles go to our heads. Look at someone like Gandhi. I love using him as an example. Someone like Gandhi. The man had the ear of so many. And yet, he never ever looked at himself as this great leader. That's what made him such an amazing leader. You know, he knew that people were following him. He knew that. And he knew the responsibility that comes with that. But then there's other leaders, you know, maybe a boss at work, and he comes in one day, and I heard someone telling me this story this week, and he comes in one day and things are not going well at work or whatever the reason. And he begins to start disempowering his staff, calling them in one by one and ripping them a new side. You need to do this. You're not good enough at that. Why don't you do this? And disempowering them. That is not a leader. Parents sometimes do this. That is not empowering your child. What does it take to be a good leader? You have to enlist trust in people. People need to trust you, which means you need to be genuine, authentic, and you need to be an empowering person. You need to empower others. You need to lift them up in the moments when they question themselves the most. You need to be there to say, no, I got you and you can do this. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Jamie. No matter what the obstacles, you got this. You have to spend time with these people and help them and reframe things for them. So when they think that they can't do something, you can show them that, yes, you can. They need to be able to look to you for guidance. And you, at the same time, want to empower them so that they can be a leader. So leaders don't look for all this flattery. Leaders don't need someone to sit there and tell them how great they are. A true leader, someone who leads, they know themselves. They know who they are. That's not being arrogant. I'm not saying they walk around going, I'm all that and a bag of chips. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that they know who they are. They know what they bring to the table. And they're open to learning. They're confident in themselves. And that confidence exudes to the people that they are leading. A true leader is quietly effective. One of my favorite words is, you got this. That's my favorite phrase. You got this. You can do this. Or people say that I can't do this, Aisha. I can't. If you can't, then you must. If you can't, then you must. There's always a way. And helping them to see that way. But we tend to get frustrated in this world of everything needs to happen now, and everybody's fear of money and not having enough, and all of this stuff dictates everything. So going back to why that woman could not come in for sessions after she wanted to so bad that she invested in it, and then I had to refund her later, was because of a couple of things. Number one, and I'm just guessing. I don't know their family and I don't know who they are. But if I was to just sit back and think about, why did this happen? And one of them is that maybe there's a fear of money, not having enough. She made an investment, but she made that investment in herself. She didn't go buy a pair of shoes. She didn't go buy a dress. She didn't go, spend that money needlessly. If someone is suffering, if you love them, you help them. You do what it takes. If your child needs an operation, if someone needs something, you don't say, sorry, can't do it. You find a way. You find a way. If your roof is leaking, you find a way to fix it. You don't let your roof leak into your house. You find a way to fix it. There's always a way. If your refrigerator's broken, you find a way to fix it. But people don't put the same value on the commitment for themselves. That is more valuable. That is way more valuable. And we let others decide whether we can heal or not. And that's not a leader. So, being a really good leader is being there for the people that you are leading. Trust, encourage, congratulate, help them celebrate the small wins. A lot of times, good morning, Danielle. A lot of times we wait for the outcome before we celebrate, before we reward ourselves, before we reward our team, before we reward the members of our family, before we reward the people at work. No, you have to reward along the way. You have to give people incentive. You have to inspire them. Be in spirit with them. You have to inspire them. You have to encourage them. Bring enthusiasm. We talked about this earlier this week. Enthusiasm into it. Hi to everybody on the podcast this morning. So a person who leads well does this inobtrusively. You're not up in someone's face. You're gently leading them along. You're letting them find their own answers. You're not trying to control them and put them under your thumb. You allow people the room to grow. You listen to them. Being a leader doesn't mean that you know everything. Right? I have lots of times I'll be teaching a workshop or a class, or I've got a client in the clinic or online, and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to them and they ask me, hey, Aisha, and they ask me a question. And I sit there and I'm like, you know what? I don't even know the answer to that, but I'm going to find it out. I'm going to find it. I never pretend to know the answer. I don't fake it. I know enough about myself that I can say, hey, you know what? I don't actually know the answer to that, but I will find it for you. Right? It's about being real. So ask yourself if what you're about to say to someone, this is what a leader should always ask themselves. Good morning, Jody. Is what I'm about to say to this person that I'm speaking to, is this going to create hate in them? Is this going to create fear in them? Is this going to bring self-awareness to them? Is this going to bring admiration in them? Is this going to disempower them? Am I looking to suppress them or help them to rise up? And am I doing this in the right way? Am I saying the right words to do this? Is what I'm going to say going to scar them forever? Is what I'm going to say going to make this person go home and cry their eyes out? We don't think that. There's so many people who lead that don't think, and they just open their mouth and a lot of garbage comes out because they're not leaders. So instead of trying to catch someone doing something wrong all the time, catch them doing something right. Catch them when they do the right thing. And then reward them, praise them, empower them. That's what a leader does. Exactly, Hector. Leaders inspire. Leaders bring enthusiasm. Leaders always show you your positive resources. We all have positive resources. Even those of us who feel like we are so broken, you still have positive resources. You didn't make it this far in this world with a whole mitt full of bad resources or resources that you are challenged with right now or struggling with. Good morning, Becky. Everyone has positive resources, and a good leader will see those things in you. When you say you can't, they tell you, yes, you can. And I'll show you how. Because you got this. A good leader will take you by your hand and always help you to stand up. A good leader won't throw a bunch of expectations and obligations on you, because human nature is to automatically reject obligation. You obligate someone to do it, and there's automatic resistance, always. The only time that they will buy in or want to do it is because you've inspired them to do it. Because they chose to do it, not because you made them do it, because they chose to do it. Because they want to do it. There is a big difference. And when we expect things from people, that will always, always lead to disappointment. Expectation and obligation is something that in humanity we have for some reason thrown into every relationship we have with people, and it is absolutely the wrong thing to do. Let people control their own lives and be responsible for themselves. And I'm talking about your children as well. Yes, you guide them. Yes, you show them different ways. Let them make choices. Don't try to control everything that someone does. And if they fall, then you give them your hand and you pick them up. And perhaps you show them some other options and some other choices and let them choose. Good morning, Suzanne. But we have learned frustration, impatience, and disempowerment. Not okay. Not okay. None of those things will work. Trying to make someone to change will not work. If you want to be with me, you better be like this, this, and this. This is what I want. How long do you think that's going to last? A person can change for someone else temporarily. 2 months, 3 months. Eventually, they will go back to their natural way of being because they didn't do it for themselves. They did it for you. And that doesn't work. Not in the long run. Maybe for a few weeks. Because they didn't choose it. They didn't choose it for themselves. So if you want to be a good leader, if you want to be part of a powerful team, then you have to, or you should, learn to lead. Learn to work with your team effectively. I'm part of, besides doing the work that I do in the clinic and in my workshops, I'm also part of, I work with CBD and different things, sprays and stuff. And I have people on a team. I'm part of a team. It's not a huge team, but it's a team. And I've talked to other people on other teams in this business. And I think this happens in any type of affiliation type of business where people don't really know each other and they start coming into a team. And then there can be sometimes some not kind words said behind people's backs, or I'm frustrated with them about this or whatever. And it becomes not fun. And I've talked to a lot of people on a lot of other teams, and not just in the business that I'm in, but in like several other businesses, but it's just, that's not a good way to lead. That's not a good way to be a team. You shouldn't be dreading it. You should be loving it. You should be enjoying it. You should be having fun with it. What you choose to do with your life should be fun. You should love it. You should get up in the morning and feel good about it. What you choose to do with your life, your path, your purpose should be something that empowers you, that drives you, that makes you want to find the next best thing and the next best way, and not let anything bring you down. And when obstacles show up, yeah, I got that. That's okay. I can do that. And have faith in yourself. If you have people in your life that are putting you down and disempowering you, then you need to make some choices. You need to make some choices, and some of them might be hard. No one has the right to hold you down. And that is the truth. Nobody in this world has the right to hold down and suppress another person. Unless that person is a danger to themselves and to others, there is no need for that. And no one has the right to do that. So just keeping that in mind. So go out, be a good leader, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. I will talk to you soon. Bye.